Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we will begin in a few seconds now, so please take your seats. As a graduate of the Myeongwon Cultural Foundation Korea Tea Ceremony course, Ms. Youngmi Lee serves as the director of the Myeongwon Cultural Foundation Arizona and California branch. She is also the director of the Arizona Asian American Association and president of the Korean Women's International Network of Arizona. Good afternoon, everyone. You will now witness a traditional Korean tea ceremony taking place, led by Ms. Youngmi Lee and her apprentice, Ivy Han. The art of the Korean tea ceremony emphasizes the virtue of maintaining modesty, achieving harmony with nature, and respecting propriety. Ms. Lee is the director of the Arizona and California branches of the Myeongwon Cultural Foundation. The Myeongwon Cultural Foundation strives to preserve, restore, and promote Korean traditional tea culture and ceremonies. These days, many of us like to pass the time watching TV or being on our mobile devices, but Ms. E would like to recommend a new healthy habit that will help you better rest your body and mind. So for today's ceremony, we are inviting two participants, Ms. Becky Hassel and Mr. Edgar Turner. Will you please join us on stage? Ms. Yi will now dress her guests in hanbok, the Korean traditional dress. And while they are preparing for the tea ceremony, I would like to share with you a brief history of Korean tea culture. About 5,000 years ago, one of the ancient Korean literature mentioned the white mountain tea for the first time. The first historical record documenting the offering of tea to ancestors describes a rite in the year 661 in which a tea offering was made to the spirit of King Suro, the founder of the Gaya kingdom. Also, records from the Goryeo dynasty show that tea offerings were made in Buddhist temples to the spirits of revered monks. The practice of Korean tea drinking and tea ceremonies, 다래, have been developed over a long period of time and influenced by royal court practices. And the Korean tradition of Pumryu, which stands for taking the time to enjoy and appreciate the beauty of living. Korean tea history cannot be discussed without Buddhism, since religious traditions were influential on every part of Korean culture. Buddhist monks incorporated tea ceremonies into votive offerings and practiced the tea ceremonies as a part of meditation. About several hundred years ago, a chief medical officer of royal court once wrote, "Tea soothes the mind, calms nerves, facilitates digestion, clears one's head and eyes, helps with urination, reduces sleep, and helps relieve the pain and poison from injuries." And one of the saints of Korean tea in the early 19th century, Cho Ui, wrote that tea has the effect of helping an 80-year-old man maintain the peachy color complexion. Who needs Botox if you drink tea every day? While practicing the tea ceremonies, 다식, which means tea food or tea snack, is served with tea in order to make the drinking tea more pleasant. The most popular 다식 is the rice cake with various colors and flavors. Serving colorful 다식 allows the guests to enjoy both the beautiful table settings and the taste of tea snacks. 다식 are made with walnuts, dried persimmons, sugar-coated gingers, various types of dried fruits, pine nuts, sesame cookies, and so on. Drinking tea would be more satisfying with any types of 다식. And these tea snacks have the distinct flavors of sweet, sour, salty, or even bitter. But any type of taste would blend well with the tea, since the tea does not have any strong flavor. And there are several types of tea ceremonies, royal court tea, everyday leaf tea, everyday powdered tea, Sun Buddhist tea, and scholars' tea ceremonies. And all ceremonies are to maintain the virtue of sincerity with trueness, modesty with generosity, harmony through discipline, and respect for propriety. Today, the everyday leaf tea ceremony will be performed by the tea master, Young-Mi Yi. And it looks like our guests are already all dressed. And of course our group photo. So this tea ceremony is simple and practical, but still displays the proper etiquette. Lotus leaf tea is used for the ceremony. This has elegant taste and a smooth taste, and it cleans your blood and removes bad breath. And now, let's begin. After greeting the guests, bow to the guest as an announcement of the tea ceremony. Half bow. Round of applause from the audience, please. The guests can just sit there and watch the host prepare the tea. Ms. Young-Mi is going through different steps in preparing the tea. First, the host will pour hot water from the tea kettle to the teaware in order to heat up the teacups. She has already added about 2 spoonfuls of tea leaves to the kettle, and this makes good tea for about 3 to 4 guests. And once the tea is brewed, pour them into the teacups. Pour just 1/3 of the teacup first, and then fill up the rest. This is so that every cup has the equal strength of tea. She is now adding 2 spoonfuls of tea leaves to the kettle, again for about 3 to 4 guests. She is now pouring hot water into the kettle so the tea can be brewed. Our teaware should be heated by now, so we are now pouring out the water into the cleaning bowl. The tea should be brewed by now. Pour the tea into the teacups. Pour just about 1/3 of the teacup first, and then fill up the rest of the cup on the next turn. Now the guests will be served the cup of tea. The guests, before drinking the tea, you should check the color and the aroma of the tea first. So please, lift your teacup up to your chest with 2 hands. Support the bottom of the cup with your left and lift with the right hand to drink the tea. Drink tea slowly to appreciate all 3 characters of tea: the color, the aroma, and taste. And you should finish the first cup of tea before tasting the tea snacks, so you can fully appreciate the flavor of tea first. Next, the host will invite you to try the tea snack. The guests are invited to try it using the chopsticks. Now, the guests will stand up, if they can, if their legs are okay. Together, they will do a half bow. Round of applause, please. After all the guests leave, the host will clean the teawares. Oh, but Miss E says 1 moment, right? Gift from Missy. So we'll take a photo, so please look at the camera. Okay, so our guests can now undress on stage. And Missy, of course, wouldn't leave without having the rest of us also try her tea and the tea snacks. So in front here, there are the tea cups, and we also have tea snacks. So we'll have volunteers stand on one side, the stage side of the tables laid out, and give you the snacks that you'd like to try. And we'll spend the rest of the time, about 20-25 minutes or so, just enjoying tea and the tea snacks. Okay, so Ms. E, can we give you another round of applause for preparing all this and all the snacks? And I have on the screen what you might see up there, and she has hand prepared a lot of the snacks on her own. So please, let's start to go a line. So we'll start from the end where I am. You can start there actually, yeah. We'll start from, so grab a plate. And the teacup that you will use today, please take it home. It's actually a gift from Ms. E.
Yes,